Hi witches, blessed be. This is White Raven over here. Today is Wednesday, so happy Magic Wednesday to all of you guys. I am off from my mundane work and I am super happy to be here and having this opportunity to have a different type of video for you guys. And I realized that for the past couple of maybe a year or so, I have been doing a lot of really goody spells, and I haven't shared with you guys my hardcore curses and spells that I like to share with you guys. So I'm going to go back a little bit to my nature. I mean, this is October, as we say in Spanish countries, and in my country, Puerto Rico, Octubre es el mes de las brujas. October is the month of the witches. So I'm getting in touch with my darker side. As the weather gets darker, my thoughts get a little bit darker, but darkness does not equal evil. So I just want to leave that there, okay? So don't stress out. So what do I want to talk to you guys about today? I'm going to talk to you about curses. And I'm not going to teach you any curse, but I will be teaching you curses in the months coming up. But what are the things that we need to know before we make any curses? Why do we curse? Well, curses have been done for centuries. This is not something new, okay? And as a matter of fact, I tell you, normal people, Christian people, people that are not witches, curse on a daily basis. We do. We really do. Every time we drive in and we have road rage and we just like, motherfucker, God damn you. And those are examples of curses, right? Those are curses. I mean, that's how we call those work. We are cursing. Correct? A lot of people say cussing. I think that's not the right word to say. I say cursing. I am cursing somebody. So that's why we have to be very careful with what comes out of our mouth on a daily basis, okay? Because we create energy that it grows, actually. It grows just like a snowball. So yes, people curse all the time, but why do we curse? Well, raise your hand, and if you're being on a court case because you're demanding justice and the law did absolutely nothing for you. Yeah, right here. Okay, so for example, you have an abusive husband, has abused you forever, and how hard it is for you to prove that into court. How hard it is for you to somebody to take you seriously, right? You have a pedophile. How hard it is to prove that your partner is abusing your child. How hard that is. Correct? You have a neighbor that is killing all your animals, is killing your cats, killing your dogs because your MF neighbor does not like your animals and is killing all of your animals. We have over there bullies. How hard it is to have a bully at work. Somebody that keeps on abusing you and walking all over you and humiliating you. Do you work in the customer service business? I do. And I can tell you that there was a point in my life in which I got abused legit daily. Some people, you can just forget about it, but there's some other people that really need a slap in the face. And sometimes you don't want to do it with your own hands because you can get in trouble with the law. But hey, you know what? This is why you're a witch, and this is why you know the things you know, and you can do and you can perform at home some kind of curses. All right? Should we curse? Should we? Should we not? There's a few ways that you can find this out. Number one, you have to sleep over it. Just make sure you sleep over it. Do not come home absolutely furious and make a curse. All right? Because I'm going to tell you this. Any curse made out of anger, immediate anger, is going to backfire on you. Don't do it. Because sometimes that curse could actually go through. And the result it's going to give you are going to go far beyond your initial intentions. And let's say somebody you have road rage in the street, and you send that person to all of his car tires to be just flat. What's going to happen if all of his tires go flat in the middle of him going in the freeway at 70 miles per hour and he killed himself? That's going to be on you. And trust me, I don't think anybody in this world is prepared to realize that the curse that you did went way beyond your intentions and somebody ended up dead. Should we make curses to have people erased out of this earth? I think there's people that bad that does not deserve to breathe the same air I'm breathing, that does not deserve the opportunity of being living. Can I take those matters into my hands? I prefer not. Am I saying that you should not do it? I can only tell you that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to be the judge of that matter. But anyways, let me not deviate. So should we curse? First and foremost, fall asleep. Sleep on it. Okay? Sleep on it before you decide. There are some words that I much rather take the loss. You know, I much rather say, okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to take the loss because it really doesn't matter. It's just, it takes energy away from you. So let's just not do it. Okay? Any curse based on jealousy, bias, prejudice, paranoia, envy, of because you can, are wrong. They're going to come back and bite you in the ass. Worse yet, you may have a result that are way beyond what you were expecting and you were hoping for that person. Okay? When we are extremely angry and we perform curses without clear thought, we can do serious harm to our spells, and our spells can go beyond our initial intent, which is what I told you. And as that quote said, revenge is a plate or a dish best served cold. So think about it. All right, gather your thought, gather your intentions, gather your emotions. Let that adrenaline, balance out. And then decide if you really want to do a curse. Once you decide that you're going to do a curse, you're going to need a plan of action. Okay? You're going to start simple. Simple. If it's your coworker, if it's your next door neighbor, start simple. Don't go overboard with magic. Don't take your big guns just yet. Start simple. Do a simple spell. Do a simple curse. A candle. A powder. Gregory bag. I don't know. Just start simple. All right? A lot of people out there have absolutely no protection whatsoever. And when they're usually, guys, evil people that are like bullies and people that are rude and people that are mean, they usually have a very, very sad life themselves. Okay? So a lot of the times, a very little curse work really fast because as it is, they're weak people. All right. And that's exactly how we're going to be doing our spells. And let me tell you something, guys. A simple spell does not mean weak. A simple spell can kill a man if that's what's in this universe book. That's the universe will. That's the energy that's coming for that person. Your spell is just going to push that and expedite what that person deserves. Okay? If after 3 days, because this is something that everybody asks how long this is going to take. After 3 days, nothing is happening. Hang in there. Okay? 3 days, nothing happens. Then you're going to set yourself. And this is according a book that I was reading that I'm going to show you. I'm going to link it in this video. Okay? I'm going to link the books that I've been reading in order to talk to you about this. Which is probably mostly common sense. But if after 3 days you see no results, then we're going to wait for about 3 weeks. All right. And again, this is entirely up to you. I think when it comes to matter for spells, there's no specific time. There's no specific day. It is your intention. It is what's coming for that person and the energies of the universe all working together. So I cannot tell you how long that's going to take. And if this spell does not work, the universe has an assignment for that human. And there's no way your spell is going to work. And when I said the universe, you can refer to it as God. I refuse to talk about, I don't refuse, I just don't talk about a God. I talk about the universe, okay? The energies of this universe are designed for this person to do something specific. And your spell is not going to work. It's just not going to work, okay? So if after 3 months of working with this person, nothing happens, well, chances are that the universe has some intentions for that human, or that person is very protected, either by ancestors, by magic, by evil spirits. and then you're either going to have to find some higher help or let it be and start protecting yourself. Okay, so what do we do before we start doing this curse? First thing you want to do is you want to have your mind completely and absolutely linked to what you're going to do. Your intentions have to be very clear in your head. You have to be focused. Please make sure that if you're going to do this at night, when you come home from doing your mundane work, you need to cleanse. All right? Because if your energies have been weakened throughout the day because your day was difficult, because your coworkers were hysterically annoying, because you have road rage, because you're tired, because you went to the supermarket and you didn't find what you wanted to cook, whatever it is, just make sure that when you come home, you take a bath, you clean all that bad and negative energy out of your system before you perform your spell. All right? Once you go and you perform your spell, I suggest, and this is a suggestion that I got in one of the books that I'm going to share with you guys in the links below in the description of the video. One of the things that you want to do is sprinkle 4 corners of salt, even if you're doing this outside, which is what's mostly recommended. But you want to sprinkle a square or a silk, you want to sprinkle salt around you. According to the book that I was reading, I never heard this before, but according to that book, that's going to help you. If the person that you're cursing knows magic, the sprinkling of the salt is going to help you be sort of like invisible to that person. Follow me? So if you don't want that person to know that you're actually working him or her, sprinkle that salt so you can cover the trace. Okay, that's not going to say that it's impossible for him to find you out eventually, but in the meantime, this person, your target, won't be able to see who's working him or if it's actually at work. Okay, you're gonna cleanse yourself. Make sure that your spirit is not fragile. You want to bathe yourself with hyssop. I have some videos over here on cleansing ways for you to cleanse yourself. It could be with hyssop, it could be with salt, it could be with cascarilla, it could be with indigo blue, it could be with so many things. I have a video in my channel that you can check and you can see how to clean yourself. Now before you do the spell, you're going to put your clothes on. If you have a robe that you use for your rituals, if you have a different type of clothing for curses, then wear them. Otherwise, just the clothes that you're wearing for that, make sure that you strip yourself after and you put it in the hamper or you wash it immediately. But while you're doing your spell, it is good for you to anoint yourself with at least some protection oils. And an example of this is Firewall of Protection oil. And you want to make sure that you have some maybe in your hands, maybe you put some in your body. Make sure you're not allergic to that. If you're allergic to that, but maybe you want to use some other protection oil. Okay, the attitude before your ritual, you should have some self-confidence. You be patient, okay, and be persistent. And determine if you have to have strength of will. Please don't stand in front of your altar just like, oh, I want this person. Come on, we're sending a curse. Perform your curse. After you perform your curse, it is very important that you cleanse everything once more. You're going to bathe yourself. You're going to sage your house or put any kind of incense of your preference that you feel that is very protective towards you. Different people use different things. If you use your crystals, use your crystals. If you want to spray different waters in your place of living, do that. All right, just make sure that after you finish with the spell, you cleanse yourself. Okay, it's very, very, very important. All right, guys. It is recommended to keep your curse spells outside of your house. Let's say this is a curse that needs to be worked for a whole week. Make sure you keep that outside of your house. I remember that back in Puerto Rico, every time I used to go to any of the houses of any of the witches, of any, yeah, that were truly witches, They used to have their house where they live, and in the back of their house, they used to have a shed or a little house where they will perform all of their magic. All right, so please keep your magical works outside. If you live in an apartment, then you have to figure this out. You really would not, it's not recommended. You know what, ultimately it's up whatever you want. That's the bottom line. Magic is whatever you choose to do. Okay, so if you think you're going to be safe with a curse in your house, by all means do what you need to do. All right, but it is recommended that if you're going to do a curse, you leave it outside of your house. Okay, once you finish with your curse, make sure the remnants are disposed far away from your home. Different spells and different curses tell you to do different things with the remnants of the spell. You can bury it in a cemetery, you can bury it in a four corners, you can just toss it in running water, you can toss it in stagnant water. Sky's the limit. That depends on the spell that you're doing, on the curse that you're doing, or whatever it is that some other spells tell you that you need to dispose this close to where the person lives, dwells, and whatnot. Magic works, guys. Magic works. Curses works. And it's really weird to me, the people that take this like a joke. I don't need to convince anybody. Probably, and chances are, if you're like me, you have lived through a lot of experiences in which you have no doubt is your magic at work. You have confirmations, you have the results that you want, right? To the point that sometimes it's ridiculous the way some of these spells come to realization and the way you get confirmation. It's just truly ridiculous. Like, it's unbelievable. It's witchcraft. But if I can tell you something, if I can give you an advice, don't take curses lightly. Do not do curses just out of spite. You will repent. And a lot of people ask me how to undo curses once you do the curses. And just because of the way I see magic and the way I think magic works, I think once you have sent an energy out there, you guys, I don't really, even though I include deities in my work, I don't see deities like people see deities. To me, they're energies and they're archetypes of energy. But once I sent a specific vibration out there to move and heal energies, I think it's very hard for you to counteract that. Yes, like any illness that you have, any poison, so many poisons have an elixir that is counteract the poison. I think a lot of these spells, once you send a curse out and you repent, you change your mind. Undo the spell if you can. Like if it's a freezer, like if you're freezing somebody, then unfreeze the person and whatnot. But, hi. But once you send that out there, I don't think you're going to be able to undo them. All right, so be very careful when you're doing this and use your best judgment. All right, until next time, which is stay wicked.